morning, everybody. Good morning. It's another day that the Lord has given us. He's given us another opportunity to write a whole new narrative today. And for that, we should be very, very, very grateful and very thankful. And there are two things we need to do to write a good narrative on today. We have to love God with all of our heart, mind, and soul. Love Him relationally. He said, if you love me, you're going to keep my commandments. And then He says to love your neighbor as yourself. Every single human being, regardless of status, regardless of political beliefs, regardless of religious beliefs, regardless of ethnicity, every single person that you've ever seen, ever met, ever encountered is made in the image of God. And for that reason alone, we should love one another. For that reason alone, we should respect one another. Okay? So let's make sure we write a good narrative by showing love. Love to God and love to our neighbors. I'm so excited. I'm just so excited about what God is doing. Maybe I'll share it later. I ain't going to share it this morning. I'll share it later. Anyway, this morning grits, the title of it is It Takes Time. I know so many times I get frustrated with myself because I think I should be to a certain place or I should be at a certain point. And that's intrinsically, it's even more frustrating when you feel that way. You feel like you're not growing as fast as you need to. And then you have outside influences that tell you you're not where you should be. They don't understand where you're not further along. And you, the whole time, are doing the very best you can to do what is right, to push through. Well, I just want to let you know that it takes time. It takes time. And we can look at God's creation. We can look at our own humanity and see that God allows room for process. And He allows room for growth. As I'm headed to work, I'm looking on the side of the roads and I see all of these trees. These trees didn't just hop up and become full-grown trees. They just didn't appear. They started as a seed. They started as something very, very small. And it took them a long time. It took them a certain time window to grow to where they are. We have to make sure that we give ourselves that growing grace that God gives all of us, even in our own, like I said, our own humanity. When we're born, we're born as babies. We can't do anything. We can't walk. We can't talk. We can't communicate. We can't take care of ourselves. But as time moves on, things happen. We put forth effort. We put forth effort to walk. Next thing we can run. We put forth effort to make sounds. And then next thing we can articulate whole sentences. It takes time to grow in grace. Yes, I know it can be frustrating. Sometimes I'm frustrated with my own self. It can be very frustrating. But guess what? God knows your process. God knows your race. And God knows your pace. And you go to that. If you are trying the absolute best that you can, you are going to get to that place in God when He wants you to get there. And guess what? We have different milestones. We have milestones in our lives. We will reach those milestones when God says we will. So there's no need trying to rush up. That's why we get in trouble. Because, we get saved and we want to rush up and preach. We want to rush up and lead something. We want to rush up and feel like we're spiritual. We want to rush up and feel like we have an in-depth understanding of the Word and of the Spirit. We want to rush. Our road is so fast-paced. So fast-paced. And everything is rushed. And so we adopt that into our Christian journey, and we rush ourselves. But God doesn't want us rushing in Him. He doesn't want you to rush. He wants you to run the race at the syncopated pace and rhythm that He has designed for you. You can't get behind, but you sure can't get ahead of God. I've found in my experience so many times when I've tried to rush and go faster than the process, and not take my time and let God develop me, you know, I've made shipwrecks. I've made horrible decisions. I've caused a lot of chaos. I've caused mayhem in my own life because I didn't allow God to take the time He wanted to take with making me better in certain areas. And guess what? It doesn't matter where you are in your Christian journey. You are always getting better at something. It is always going to take you some time to do better, to get better, to be better at something. We are always developing. We are always growing. So it takes time. I know we all aspire. I know I do. I aspire to be really perfect. I know that's not, realistic. But I aspire to be a certain place. But guess what? If that's not God's timing, I don't need to rush and get ahead of Him. I need to take the time that God has given me during this phase and let God develop me. Let God, work some things out in me. Let God prune me and purge me and sanctify me from some things. I'm telling you, it takes time. So don't be discouraged. Don't be frustrated on your walk. I love you guys. Y'all be blessed. Not a long word, but just simple and true. It takes time. Let God do what He wants to do in you, through you, and for you in His time. We got to stop trying to rush God, and we got to stop trying to rush ourselves and rush our development, because it won't work out well if we do. I thank God for all of you who helped, with the Drive Towards Transformation, Care for the Least of Us service projects. This week we're buying groceries for our impoverished elderly. Like I've said before, you wouldn't even believe some of the conditions that they live in. I've gone into somebody's house, an old person's house before when I brought groceries that we, got for them, and they had nothing in their refrigerator. So thank God for you. And then the next Saturday, we're going to get ready for our Christmas dinner for the homeless. Thank God for those of you who've been helping. I love you all. Those of you who want to give and don't have it to give, 2 Corinthians 9:7 say, do not give of your necessity. Don't be giving nobody your rent money and mortgage money and stuff like that. Don't do that. Just pray. Pray for the provision. Pray for our protection. And pray that the passion to keep doing this remains. God bless you. I love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful Thursday.